Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. A story we've been covering all morning long, since last night, actually, when the news broke that this is the headline of the story. A wife of Weezer bassist shot by cops, booked for attempted murder. Sounds horrific. Sounds disturbing. But let's go through the facts of the case, and at least what we have right now that has been reported. So the wife of Weezer bassist Scott Schreiner was shot by cops during a wild chase in L.A., and she was booked for attempted murder. Now, we want to make clear, these are good friends of ours. Weezer's done so many shows for us. They played the first Q101 Twisted Christmas 31 years ago. They played our Ahoy show about 3 years ago.
That's right.
When we brought back the name Q101, we actually got it back at that time, thank God, after a lot of legal battles. And they've done, several shows, jamborees and all our Christmas shows. They're great people, and we thank them for all the stuff and joy they've given us throughout the years. And this story is just insane. It's crazy. So here's what happened.
Brian's best friends with the cops. He went to high school with all of them. So it's a tough situation for him.
It's a tough situation. The cops are great people in this case. Everybody's a great person. It's a weird thing that...
It is so weird.
So California Highway Patrol and LAPD officers responded to a hit and run Tuesday afternoon on the freeway winding through the Eagle Rock neighborhood of LA, where I assume is the area where they live in. 3 suspects fled the scene on foot. One bailed out of the vehicle, climbed over a freeway embankment, which, by the way, is this guy Spider-Man? You know how high those walls are? It's insane. Then ended up on a residential street.
You got to hand it to him.
First off, probably a terrible guy, hit and run situation, but my God, athletic.
Athletic.
Very athletic.
I mean...
He ran for all those yards.
What's his stats?
Could have used him on the White Sox last night.
Could have used them. Would have made it to home plate.
Would have been nice. All right.
So he climbed that embankment. Then he stripped off some clothing, quote, to try to blend into the neighborhood. It didn't work. Now, I'm not sure. Very rich neighborhood, obviously. Weezer living there and Scott Schreiner from Weezer living in that neighborhood. I'm not sure what taking off clothes did. I don't know if he had something that looked poor.
Like a ski mask? What was he doing?
Yeah, ski mask. Or I don't know what kind of garb would make you not fit into a rich neighborhood. You know what I mean?
I have no idea.
And what you could quickly replace it with to look rich.
Yeah, he's running from the cops. He doesn't have a backpack with like several outfit changes ready to go.
He's running, trying to put on a Gucci belt while he's running.
Just pull all my designer clothes out of his bag. Really, his little walking cane. All of a sudden, like, what are you doing?
He's got a monocle. He looks like Mr. Peanut.
He's the Monopoly man running through the neighborhood.
Did he put in hair gel, like to get his hair together too?
Yeah.
Like,
well, it was a mess during the hit and run. He had to.
He's smoking a cigar.
Wild situation.
You'll never know.
So obviously, cops were scouring the area where this hit and run happened off the freeway. Officers went into the backyard of a house where the suspect had just fled into the front yard. Scott Schreiner's wife, the bass player of Weezer, Jillian Lauren, emerged from the couple's home next door, gun in hand. Now, some stories are saying it's unclear whether she fired. Some are saying she did fire the gun. Not at the cops, but at this guy who was the hit-and-run suspect. He ran through the yard.
Right, but what's interesting is that you're like, oh, bad guy, and she shot at him. But I would think she wouldn't know what he did. So this is just somebody running through her yard.
Yeah. Excuse me, what'd you do? Why were you in the yard? Oh, you're a hit-and-run guy.
Yeah,
yeah.
She doesn't, I don't think she was up on the info. She was like, someone in my yard. Not great.
Unless she's like a guy that works at the radio station here, Pants, who listens to police scanners.
For fun. That's his hobby.
That's what he does on Saturday nights.
And then his splurge is that he likes to buy security cameras for his house.
That's weird. I didn't know that about him.
Love Pants to death. He's the best guy.
His girlfriend got mad at him because he had so many security cameras. He had to get rid of a few.
And
I feel like that just makes you look suspicious.
I like security cameras. And by the way, I'm not trying to out Pants here. I'm not trying to dox him.
Oh, boy.
But he does live in a high-rise building.
Mm-hmm.
So is he putting security cameras on the street down below?
I know about his setup. You wouldn't believe where he has cameras.
Like you have to buzz in.
Yeah. Brian, it's a whole thing.
You're not just walking in the door.
I just feel like if you went to his apartment, he would look like the ringleader of Saw. Like he's watching all these scenes.
No, his apartment's gorgeous, and I feel very secure there.
Yeah.
Do you want to play a game?
All right.
Where's Pants right now?
Yeah. So, Julian Lauren, Scott Schreiner's wife, bass player of Weezer, Officers yelled at her to drop the weapon. So, again, we don't know for sure if she fired or didn't fire. Some stories say she did fire the gun at the guy. Some say she did. It's unclear whether she fired the weapon. We'll find out more. We thought there'd be an update by now, but there isn't one. So they then come on the scene and see her holding a gun on her porch, and the cops say, drop the weapon. Cops say she ignored multiple commands to drop the weapon. LAPD says then she pointed her weapon at the officers, and I looked at the pictures. They're wearing uniforms. It wasn't undercovers, and she may be confused on the situation. They were wearing uniforms. So they fired and struck her in the shoulder. Then she ran back in the house. She's like the Terminator. You know, if I got shot, if I got shot, I'm going down right there. I don't think. Good Lord.
You see, like, how unnecessary this whole thing was, though? Like, they're chasing a guy in a hit and run. She has nothing to do with anything. And somehow this whole thing has become about her because she walked outside with a gun and wouldn't stop pointing at the officers. For what? Why are you even getting yourself involved? Go in the house. You were inside when all this happened initially.
You could have stayed inside.
Stay in your house.
As Case likes to say, inside is awesome.
Oh, I love it.
Outside's terrifying.
Outside sucks. I'm never inside thinking, man, I should be outside right now.
And there's no way these rich ass people don't have a Ring doorbell. I understand you want to see what's going on, Mrs. Nosy Nose. Good, get the info. Pull up your Ring and just watch it.
Mrs. Nosy Nose?
I get it.
So she runs back in the house. She's been shot. The cops are out front trying to de-escalate the situation. 30 minutes later, she comes out and her babysitter emerged from the house too with their hands up. The babysitter's probably going like,
why would the babysitter come outside with her hands up? What? Why does everyone keep involving themselves?
it doesn't say the baby came out with the hands up. It doesn't say that.
Interesting.
The toddler or the baby.
It sounds like the baby was resisting arrest.
I think the baby was
You're
going,
gonna shoot?
This is the hill I'm dying on. I'm not going out there with my hands up, the baby said.
The baby's the only smart one. The baby's the only one this whole time who has stayed inside.
Kenzie, do you think the baby was doing the Wolf of Wall Street line that you love so much?
I'm not leaving.
I got
I live in
Legos.
Beverly Hills, bitch. No way.
So law enforcement said that Lauren was taken to the hospital and treated for non-life-threatening gunshot wound, later booked for attempted murder because she pointed a gun at officers. Again, did not fire at them, but allegedly, or waiting for actual facts that say she fired at the guy, the hit-and-run guy. They recovered a 9mm handgun at the residence. The original suspect, by the way, was apprehended. There were two other guys, they're still on the loose, from the original hit-and-run that started this whole mess. So two guys are still out there. He's apprehended, probably going like, boy, did I run through the wrong yard.
Well, I have a breaking news update on the suspect.
Oh, no. Oh, boy. Did he shoot somebody in jail? He had a gun and pulled it out?
No, he did not. But I have to thank the text line for alerting me to this because our bad. We didn't check People magazine as a source on this story.
Wait,
Damn it.
People? Every other source here, and People came through with something?
People has an exclusive.
Okay.
And this is published on their website. I'm reading this verbatim. That the suspect was apprehended at around 4:20 p.m. after he was found in a backyard nearby wearing only his boxer shorts. News helicopters saw him taking off his clothes, getting into a pool, and watering plants at a neighbor's house from Weezer's bassist.
Well, that's smart.
How is that
Why?
smart?
Because he looks like...
What about any of that?
Because he looks like he owns the house.
Brian, he's the one that got arrested.
I know, but would you arrest a guy watering plants with his underwear?
Yes.
Yes.
But I mean, it looks like it's his house.
It's not his house.
But I know, but I walk around in my underwear all the time in my house.
But
they
he's
were
not-
outside.
Thank you.
Yeah, but he's outside. Like, this is my backyard. I got plants out here. I'm comfortable. I'm not in fear of anything.
Did she shoot at him because he was outside in his underwear watering plants and getting in the pool?
That was at a different house.
So he might not have had his pants off by the time she saw him, if that makes sense. And
I
he
think his pants were probably off. I don't think he put more clothes on, but he wasn't watering plants. This guy's unhinged. Why'd you stop to water plants?
But see, he's covering for himself. He's just sitting there. I'm in my rich mansion here, and I'm watering my plants in my underwear because there's no problem here, officer.
The way I would tase you if I drove by your house and you were outside watering plants in your underwear, immediate attack. There's no de-escalating that situation. I am making sure that you are on the ground.
Because you've assaulted everyone's eyes.
Mm-hmm.
It's not fair.
Well, he did get apprehended. I'd love to know how he actually, they just said, like, you don't live here. You don't look like you live here.
I'm sure that went over well. He might have a profiling.
What do you mean? All of a sudden the cops are in trouble? It's like, wait a minute. You're not allowed to say that.
Brian and Kenzie.
On Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. Todd texted in and said, as we were talking about the bizarre story of the bass player of Weezer's wife getting shot and booked for attempted murder. We went through that whole story. We'll recap it again and update it about 8:50 in music entertainment news because it's just it's a lot of explaining to do on this story and how it all led to this point. But Kenzie made apparently a gun sound effect that needed to be replayed by one of our listeners' request because, well, let me just play the audio of how Kenzie described her walking out with the gun in her hand out of his home and then what happened.
She was like, someone in my yard. I'm sorry, that's like a verbatim shotgun.
Okay, so somebody ran through their yard. She came out with a gun and shot at him. That's what started. That's kind of what part of the story.
Yeah.
So this is Kenzie picking that part of the story up.
She was like, someone in my yard. You make a shotgun sound. What is it? No, but you have to cock it.
You don't have to always cock a shotgun.
Well, that was the point of the sound effect. So what's the?
But
you're cocking a shotgun's what?
I think you do.
You do have to cock it, but I mean, I would assume her shot. The way she shot at this guy, I assume the shotgun was already cocked.
She's got a loaded and ready to fire shotgun by the door.
First off, I think that half the lure of the shotgun is you want to cock it in front of the person to show that you mean business.
Kenzie, what a great point.
That's the whole thing.
Well, it's terrifying, the cocking, because as you can hear...
Yes, you're going to wait till you get outside to go... For sure.
I mean, this sound would scare the hell out of me.
She was like, someone in my yard.
It sounds like a Three Stooges sound effect. Like when they hit each other.
Exactly. I couldn't tell if you were playing a shotgun or me.
It's so similar.
She was like, someone in my yard. This is like an episode of Is It Cake? You can't tell if it's a shotgun or me. You don't know.
I would certainly run screaming if I heard this.
She was like, someone in my yard. You scared?
Very scared.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. Joe went to DePaul, ended up in Stranger Things, and wrote a great song about Chicago, playing Lollapalooza coming up this summer with Q101. So we just talked about Tombstone, and Kenzie mentioned how she's watching Tombstone, but only seen 20 minutes of it because, well, she only works out for 20 minutes, clearly.
That's not her. And even if I did, F you, it's fine.
It's better than nothing.
Yeah.
Better than nothing. Juan checked in and said, it's hard to work out for longer than 20 minutes when you're thinking about DiGiorno pizza. Well done. A good early takeaway from the show. Thank you, Juan, for that. As we said, we've talked about the bizarre story all morning involving Weezer's bass player's wife, arrested for attempted murder. We'll recap that story again and give updates at 8:50 in music entertainment news, because we've been talking about it all morning. But two of the other weird stories today, these are pretty weird. How about this one, where there's a man who got a call from his wife. He'll explain it in the audio. I'm just going to play the audio because both these things have audio. And he called 911, but in the middle of the call, he heard the 911 operator ordering McDonald's. They must have had it conferenced in, because he could hear the person asking what the order was.
God, when you think you hit that mute button and you don't.
Woof.
Oof.
It's rough. Here's how it played out.
My wife called me while I was at work at about 9:30 and said someone was snooping around the house, knocking on the doors, banging on the windows and stuff. I was panicking because, my wife is home alone with my 5-month-old daughter, and I was, coming home not knowing what I was going to come home to.
Big Riddle? Sorry, what?
That should never happen. Your ordering breakfast should be different from your answering a call, and the two should never intertwine.
That's a good point at the end.
They should never intertwine.
That call should have happened after you dispatch someone to the house.
So that guy at the end was the Chatham County Commission chairman. Chester Ellis is his name. What a great name. Talking about the breakfast order. how they should never happen. I've got to play it again because Case laughed so hard we heard that
I didn't expect it to be McGriddle. I thought it was breakfast time.
Well, I was thinking of it too. Would it be a double quarter pounder with cheese? You're doing 911 for all day long. You work like incredibly long shifts. You better get more than just a McGriddle.
Well,
Right? Like, she just got there. Like, at least take the call. Damn.
but the McGriddle fills me up. It's my go-to breakfast at McDonald's.
Here's the end of that again.
with my 5-month-old daughter, and I was, coming home not knowing what I was going to come home to.
McGriddle? Sorry, what?
That should never.
It's hard to casually order a McGriddle, dude. That's a key. They know where you're calling, what you're doing. You can't just say McGriddle, like slip it in a sentence.
I did not.
McGriddle.
I did not expect it to be breakfast. That makes it so much funnier.
The thing is, I think those people work super long shifts. Let's say it's a 12-hour shift doing 911 calls. I need sustenance. I need a 20 McNugget meal the 20. And if they don't have that, I'm getting the 210s because some of them put it in 210 packages. I like the 20 pack of McNuggets. Buffalo sauce, give me 4 packs of that. The large fries, give me 2 large Cokes. And I want a chocolate hot fudge sundae. If I'm doing 911.
Miracle you're alive.
God.
All she got was a McGriddle?
My 5-month-old daughter, and I was, coming home not knowing what I was going to come home to.
McGriddle?
We don't know that.
I'm sorry, what?
I think she was going to dip in with a few more words.
There could be more to the order. We don't know for sure.
Calvin brings up a great point of the text line. To make matters worse, she phone ordered McDonald's.
Well,
Use the app.
Yeah, exactly. Just use the
silently.
Oh. Yeah, I didn't think of. I mean, can you call McDonald's and they'll deliver it?
I will find out right now.
Because
I hope the same person who workout shamed me texted about Brian's order.
Kenzie, let it go.
No.
Let it go.
Be like Elsa, let it go.
It's like The Sopranos. It's over. All right. That's one piece of the audio of the day. I didn't know you could call McDonald's and then they would deliver it. Or maybe she can't do a pickup. She's working 911 operator. She can't leave.
Well, would it pass her to leave?
If she's ordering McDonald's in the middle of a 911 call, possibly.
Do you want me to find out if
The
we can?
app's right there, and you get points.
What are you trying to Google if you can order McDonald's? Are you
I
trying
was going to call him.
Oh.
But I don't know how to get it on the mic through the board. Can you call him on your phone?
We don't know how to call McDonald's.
No. Hold on.
Does anyone have a pigeon?
I know how to call a restaurant. I've worked a phone before. Even my Gen Z ass has called people, but I don't know how to get it. So, we have an audience listening, a very large audience. I don't know how to get them to hear the phone call.
Well, I don't know if you, when you listen to the audio, the girl's like, what? I wonder if she, am I supposed to place this order for you? I think she's even confused.
Wait, let's hear it again.
Coming home not knowing what I was going to come home to.
McGriddle? Sorry, what?
That should never.
Why should?
Are you ordering? Are you calling me an order?
Did she? Is that the woman the ordering on the McDonald's person saying that? I'm sorry, what?
That's the 911 person.
Oh, I thought it was the McDonald's person. I thought she was I'm sorry, what? Why are you?
Come home to.
McGriddle? Sorry, what?
That
Oh, yeah, because she says McGriddle, like saying, do you want a McGriddle, right? And then she goes, I'm sorry, what? Is she saying that to the guy who's saying my wife might be in danger?
I thought so. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it was the McDonald's worker.
It was McDonald's worker just shocked, are you calling in food? I don't know what to do.
You got to come get it?
You have to pay for this. I can just make it because you call.
I was going to come home to.
McGriddle? Sorry, what?
That
We'll never know. We'll never know who's sorry and said what.
Oh, my goodness. Well, I hope the guy's wife's okay.
I do too.
We don't know the
follow-up.
He called 911. I heard a McGriddle order.
Are we calling McDonald's or what?
Let's do that. Let's take a break. We're up against it. And let's call McDonald's and say, can you bring us food without a person in between?
Just say, I'd like to place an order for delivery and just see what they say.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see what happens. We do that live on the air. You want to get them on the phone?
Well, I don't know how to get it so that everybody can hear us. I know how to make a phone call.
I don't think you do.
Doesn't sound like
We
that.
got these microphones. I'm trying to figure that out.
Here's what we'll do. Take a short break. 6 minutes. We'll come back. We'll call McDonald's and see if they can deliver
You
food
don't
to us.
want to miss this.
We want to see if we can deliver food without the interference
What
of DoorDash.
year is it?
No one's helping them. It's just McDonald's.
No one's helping them.
No
Like the
delivery
army?
provider. No Uber Eats, no DoorDash. It's got to be, can McDonald's, do they have delivery drivers? McDonald's, that's
No,
what
of course they don't. But that's what makes this funny is why would she call it? Was she going to leave?
but we want to see what happens if we call and see what happens.
Because I'll buy a McGriddle. I'll do it.
Yeah, well, I'm getting my order that I said earlier. In 20 McNuggets, a couple fries, hot fudge sundae, Coke.
Good Lord.
All right, this is all when we come back. This is thrilling radio right here. Let's go.
Brian and Kenzie.
On Q 101.
Boy, are you going to be glad you stayed or tuned in just right now for this monumental exclusive radio. This is good stuff. So we just played some audio of a man that called 911 because his wife had called him and said, hey, someone's trying to break in the house. So he called 911 trying to alert somebody to go over there and check out what's going on. Instead, in the middle of his call, he heard the woman, the 911 operator, ordering some McDonald's.
Knowing what I was going to come home to.
McGriddle. Sorry, what?
So our determination was that she called McDonald's to order some food as opposed to using Uber Eats or a DoorDash. And we thought, can you actually call McDonald's and can they deliver it without anybody else interfering, a third party, if you will? So we're going to do that right now. By the way, Valerie checked in from Berwyn and said, sorry, boss, going to be late. Need to hear the radio try to order McDonald's. Well done. Glad you stuck around, Valerie.
No one else is doing this.
So here's what we're going to do.
Big stuff happening today.
More a little behind the curtain here is that to put somebody on the radio, either you call the show or if we call you, we have to say, hey, you're going to be on the radio. Legally, we have to ask you to be on the radio. We can't just throw you on. So Case is going to call right now, and we're going to hear Case ask them if they'll come on the radio, which they might say no and it's all over. And then we'll never know if McDonald's can actually just deliver food to you without using a delivery
Or should
service.
we be like, is one of your coworkers okay with it?
So Case is calling right now, Kenzie. No,
Okay.
is it ringing?
It's ringing.
Okay. And so it's not on the air because I don't want to put it on the air unless they give us permission. And we love McDonald's to
Hi,
death.
we're Brian and Kenzie from Q101. Can we talk to you on the radio for a second? We love McDonald's. We have a question for you. She asked for 1 second. Yes. Let me know when you're ready. It'll just take 1 second.
I can't believe someone picked up. You can actually call McDonald's.
Sounds really busy in there, too.
Oh, no. Which
Don't
location?
waste her time.
Is it Rock and Roll McDonald's?
It's the one on McClurg. You tell me.
Oh, that was my McDonald's. A good one.
It was my McDonald's.
Good one.
I lived over there for about 4 years and kept that place in
Is it you
business.
that got quarter pounders there? Yes, Brian.
That is a packed McDonald's at this hour.
Okay, I'm going to put you on hold, and then you'll be on the radio with Brian and Kenzie in 1 second, okay?
Is that okay? What happened?
Okay, I think they said okay. You can pick him up on line
Okay,
one.
go. Pick up fast.
Hi, it's Brian and Kenzie. You're on Q101 Live. What's your name?
Oh, they hung up.
Oh, shit. What?
Goodbye.
What?
No, that might
Why
have been.
were they okay with you?
Well,
Brian, what did you say?
I'm naturally very charming.
You were right here. I didn't say anything, did I?
I don't know. Maybe we have to run it back and see how you came across
Goodbye.
so unappealing.
It was
that
subliminal messaging.
I gotta admit, that hurts my feelings.
Yeah, but think about this, Brian. McDonald's just hung up on you.
I mean,
Goodbye.
I love McDonald's to death.
It's your thing.
I gotta just.
Are you allowed to be at that location anymore? Or did they hear your voice and go, oh, God?
They probably thought I was gonna make some order they couldn't fill right
They're
now.
like, we do not have time for you right now.
Godzilla's back.
I need 700 McNuggets. That's my McDonald's for 4 years now. I love that place. Oh, it's a shame.
I don't understand why. I heard you say you're going to be live on the radio like 4 times to her.
Just once.
I was being very clear. Just
That's
like,
what I
hey,
mean.
I'm not trying to pull one over on anybody, not pull a fast one on the
You didn't
McDonald's
like
Corporation.
say it fast like Worcestershire sauce. Like you told her.
Yeah, well, you know what? I will say that McDonald's, because it's right by Northwestern Hospital, so it is busy with people either having somebody in the hospital or the nurses and doctors over there. So
Goodbye.
I guess we'll just never know.
I have a feeling they don't deliver based on that, though.
Yeah. Our question was, do you deliver without like using Uber Eats or DoorDash? Do they have like a McDonald's car, like a clown car that Ronald's
like a
in?
cop car with
Waiting to
yellow and red
deliver.
lights.
Oh, well. Listen, we tried.
Wow.
That's what we do here. We tried. And we got to move forward because we're running out of time here. We got to get back to the Weezer story, an update on Weezer's bass player's wife arrested for attempted murder, shot by the cops. That sounds like a horrific story. There's actually some comedy to it, and we'll get to that in just about 4 minutes after Stone Temple Pilots. We'll just assume if you want to order McDonald's, use DoorDash, use Uber Eats, or go to McDonald's, because I love just sitting in there and eating it.
Novel concept. Just go to McDonald's.
Just go. There's so many of them. They're all available to you.
I
And,
wouldn't call, though.
and just get my order. Get my order.
Do you think it was performance anxiety on the behalf of McDonald's? They got nervous when they heard they were going to be live?
I think it was my tone. My tone must have ruined it.
I know. We should play it back and really analyze what you did.
When we come back,
wrong.
get the clip of my tone and see if I gave off a creepy or a mean tone.
Creepy, aggressive vibe.
224 texted in and said, first time texter ever, by the way, texted the show and said, they felt Brian's order presence.
They heard
God.
your voice and knew they were not about to have time for you.
Not this one. Not this
Nuh-uh.
guy.
Not today. Not today.
Nothing but love for you, McDonald's. And I know that they are busy as hell.
Right.
At that McDonald's. All of them at this hour. You get the delicious breakfast and anything you want. Okay. Here's what we're going to do. We'll come back and see if my tone turned her off.
It's not looking good for you, Brian.
And an update on the story we've been talking about all morning. A terrifying, weird story as Weezer's bass player's wife arrested. That's Scott Schreiner, his wife, arrested for attempted murder. What happened? We'll lay it all out for you and give you updates as well. It's Brian and Kenzie on Q101.
Brian and Kenzie.
On Q101.
Brian and Kenzie.
On Q101.
And we have update and news on the story that's been happening all morning, and we were the first to give it to you yesterday when the story broke about the Weezer bass player Scott Schreiner, his wife, shot by the police, booked for attempted murder. Sounds like a terrible, terrible story, and it is, but there is some weirdness to this whole thing and why it happened. So we'll break that down for you in just a couple seconds. First, a lot going on this morning. We tried to call McDonald's and order food to see if they could deliver it on their own to us without the use of DoorDash or Uber Eats, because we played a 911 call where a guy called to protect his wife, his home was being broken into. And when he called, the 911 operator was on the phone with McDonald's, which all of us, I think, can agree, can't remember ever calling McDonald's.
No.
You go. The experience is outstanding. You either go, or if you can't go, you get DoorDash or Uber Eats to deliver it to
Right.
you.
DoorDash, Uber Eats, McDonald's app, drive-through, walk in the restaurant, many an option.
I'm going to give you another, actually, because I have the app. It might be the app that gives you the most points for your dollar. You can get free food at McDonald's almost every day if you just buy regularly on that app.
Well, and every time you log on, there's like a different deal. It's like, hey, want 47 quarter pounders? It's
Yeah.
like, oh, yeah, that's cool. Like for $5.
Can't fully verify the 47 quarter pounder deal, but it's a lot.
It's always like a really good, like, buy one, get one action.
I think they still have free fries Fridays going on, too.
Well, that's fun.
Yeah, it's so fun. Okay, so we called and tried to get through to see if we could talk to somebody, and this lovely person picked up at my McDonald's over there on McClurg. But we got disconnected, or they hung up once they heard my voice.
What do you think honestly happened?
I thought I was delightful, but we'll find out. Replay the audio right now, what happened just a few minutes ago. Does this sound like a turnoff?
And by the way, real quick before you play that, we have a crew member at the McDonald's on McClurg right now. I'll read their text after we analyze this audio.
Ooh,
Fantastic.
exciting. Okay, so we're going back in
Boots
time.
on the ground.
It's like
Wait.
Cronkite in Vietnam.
What a reference.
Thank you.
So right before Stone Temple Pilots, this was the call to McDonald's. Hi, it's Brian and Kenzie. You're on Q101 Live. What's your name? And we lost us.
Goodbye.
So bad.
Wait, what was the tone in that?
It was bad. This whole thing was bad.
what was
they were
wrong?
they were
It's
so
very
nice to
pompous of
me.
you.
Pompous?
Yeah.
Let's listen again. Hi, it's Brian and Kenzie. You're on Q101 Live. What's your name?
Your name. What are you, like a mixer?
Brian walks around this earth like he's a professional casino greeter.
Like, Case specifically said, because we had to say, hey, you're going to be on the radio ahead of time. And the girl was like, okay. And you could tell she was super busy. And Case literally said to her, I promise it'll only take a second. And then Brian opens with like, what's your favorite color? It's like, I don't have time for this.
Hi, it's Brian and Kenzie. You're on Q101 Live. What's your name? I just wanted to know her name.
But I think she wanted you to get to the question because Case said it would be really fast. I feel like we need to really analyze it. Can you slow it down?
Let me see if we slow it down, does it sound, is there something wrong here? You guys tell me. Hi, it's Brian and Kenzie. You're on Q101 Live. What's your name?
Now you sound like E.T.
Boy, does that sound creepy in slow-mo.
You can hear him hang up in slow motion.
I know.
What's your name?
You can like hear her rolling her eyes, actually.
Hi, it's Brian and Kenzie. You're on Q101 Live. What's your name?
That's like how long she felt like you were talking, though. Like, that's like her interpretation of how long it took for you to ask for a name.
All right, what does our boots on the ground say at the McDonald's right now?
So first time texter.
Love
I
you.
love that.
Love you.
Her name is Armenia, and she's at the McDonald's that we called, and she said they only do delivery through apps. And to clarify, because Brian asked if they had a special clown car-like car that would deliver McDonald's, she did ask, and the McDonald's said that they do not have a special delivery car.
Well, that's a
Can
shame.
Armenia ask who was just on the phone with the radio station and get her name?
I'll check back in with her.
Okay.
She will ask her and goes, it was Brian, and Armenia's going to go, oh, I know. He's a lot. You're justified in hanging up.
Goodbye.
Well, this is great. We got to the bottom of it without us doing it, with our people did, our crew members did.
Journalism.
All right, let's get
It's
to...
not that hard, actually.
It really wasn't. So, music entertainment news. Let's go. Well, we've been talking all morning about this story that dropped yesterday on Q101. We were the first to tell you about our friends Weezer. We love the band. They've done so many things. The first band at Q101's Twisted Christmas 31 years ago, and of course played Ahoy a few years back. That was an incredible show at the Aragon. Scott Schreiner is their bass player, and his wife was shot by the cops during a wild thing that happened in LA yesterday. Let's explain what happened clearly. California Highway Patrol and LAPD officers responded to a hit and run Tuesday afternoon on the freeway, winding through the Eagle Rock neighborhood in LA where they live. 3 suspects fled the scene on foot. 1 bailed out of the vehicle, climbed over a freeway embankment, and ended up on the residential street where they live. He stripped off some clothing to try to blend in with the neighborhood. We found out later he was arrested watering plants in his underwear, trying to blend in with the neighborhood that way. As cops scoured the area, the officers went to the backyard of a house where the suspect had fled to. So Scott Schreiner's wife, Jillian Lauren, emerged from their house, had a gun in her hand. Now, there's conflicting stories still. I thought by now we'd have it for sure clear whether she fired the gun or not at the guy that was the hit-and-run suspect, because she was maybe, who knows what was going on in her mind at that point. Maybe scared. Maybe the guy tried to kick the door in. Who knows? But she had a gun. She shot at him. Right behind the guy were officers. They yelled at her, drop the weapon. They were wearing uniforms, by the way. They were not undercovers. Cops say she ignored multiple commands, then pointed the weapon at them. They fired, hit her in the shoulder. She runs back in the house. Unbelievable. If I got shot, I'm going down right there. I don't care where I'm shot. I'm going down right there. She's the Terminator. 30 minutes later, she emerged with the babysitter, all of them with their hands up.
If I was that babysitter,
surrendered.
I'd be like, under no circumstance am I going out there with you. You don't pay me enough.
You're getting $25 an hour. You're coming out there with me with your hands up.
God.
I don't care how long you've watched the baby and how tired you are.
And then also, who had the baby? So is the baby just like inside the house alone now?
That baby knew to stay in the house, I'll tell you that much.
No kidding. Everybody should have stayed in the house for this entire situation.
I got to believe it's a beautiful house. So law enforcement said that Lauren was taken to the hospital, treated for a non-life-threatening gunshot wound, later booked for attempted murder. Now, to be clear, she did not fire at the police. She pointed a gun, but allegedly fired at the guy running through her front yard that was the hit-and-run suspect. Los Angeles police say they recovered a 9mm handgun at the residence. Now, the original guy was apprehended. The other 2 were on the loose from the hit-and-run that started this whole stupid thing. And Weezer's playing Coachella this weekend.
Fun.
Bad timing.
Not good timing. Don't you think the update's going to be like, update, it was a water gun, she was playing Senior Assassin?
Wow. Amazing. People from Cherville checking in saying the same thing happened in my neighborhood. I'm not sure. It's an anonymous from Cherville checking in.
With Weezer?
No, Weezer was not involved. Maybe they were.
I played the Hard Rock that night.
All they texted
Please.
from Cherville was the same thing happened in my neighborhood. So
With no context.
did Weezer play the Hard Rock there, you said a year ago or 2 years ago? they
Weezer
did?
played the Hard Rock last summer because we sent listeners there, and I heard
Yeah.
it's an awesome show. Maybe something happened that we don't
They
know
need to
about.
stay in their rooms.
How did that story not get to us if it happened in Cherville? The same thing.
You would have thought somebody would have told us by now.
All right, we'll try to verify that story in Cherville that the same thing happened in their neighborhood.
Maybe they meant they called McDonald's.
Oh, boy. We'll keep you updated on this entire story as it plays out. A tragic situation altogether, and hopefully there's some kind of resolution that's not her going to jail for life for attempted murder, although shouldn't be pointing that gun at cops. They say put the gun down, put the damn gun down.
At anybody.
At anybody.
Being attacked.
Yeah, put the damn gun down. Holy crap. All right, some other music entertainment news. No way to get out of that story, but a positive is Riot Fest has signed a deal with the city, with the Park District, to stay in Douglas Park through 2027 under a new deal. If you remember last year, big controversy in moving out, then coming back, and now we know for sure it'll be in Douglas Park until at least 2027. I'm so happy about that, just to get the consistency going there. It's the 20th anniversary. 50,000 fans every year. Our Q101ers are out there in full force. And to remind you, today, Riot Fest has the pre-sale starting at 10 a.m. This is the final pre-sale to get the lower prices, correct, Case?
That's correct.
So 10 a.m., Q101.com, make sure you're there. And then next week, April 23rd, we're going to get Riot Mike on to announce the lineup.
Yeah, so a week and a half from now. 2 weeks, technically.
Is 23rd week and a half?
It's the 10th today, so you do that math.
So 2 weeks.
So wait, you got really a week from like today, he said.
All right.
Very confident.
Just April 23rd, put it in your phone, 10 a.m. We will have the announcement of the bands, and it's the 20th anniversary of Riot Fest.
Can't wait.
I cannot wait for that lineup. That will be incredible. Okay, we have Ticket Butts Thursday, another keyword coming up in just a second. But first, I want to give away some tickets for Stavi playing the Chicago Theater, 312-591-8300. Super funny dude. Call now for those tickets, and then we'll play some Weezer. And after Weezer, we will do Ticket Butts Thursday for garbage tickets.
Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.